You versus you. That's the ultimate battle, is not it. The one that truly matters. Not you versus your neighbor, not you versus your coworkers, not you versus the world. It's you versus you. Now, why is that? Why is this internal struggle so crucial? Because it's the only battle you have complete control over. It's the only arena where your choices, your decisions, your actions are the sole determining factor. Think about it for a moment. In any other competition, there are external factors at play. When you are up against another person, their skills, their preparation, their determination all come into play. When you are facing the world, you are dealing with circumstances, with societal norms, with economic conditions that are largely beyond your control. But when it's you versus you, oh, that's where the magic happens. That's where true growth occurs. That's where you have the power to shape your destiny. Let me tell you a little story. Years ago, I met a young man who was struggling in his career. He was always comparing himself to his colleagues, always worrying about what his boss thought of him, always fretting about the state of the economy. And you know what? He was miserable. He was stuck. One day, I sat him down and asked him a simple question. What would happen if you stopped worrying about everyone else and started focusing on becoming the best version of yourself? The look on his face was priceless. It was as if a light bulb had gone off in his head. For the first time, he realized that he'd been fighting the wrong battle all along. When you are constantly looking outward, constantly comparing yourself to others, you are giving away your power. You are allowing external factors to dictate your worth, your success, your happiness. But when you turn that focus inward, when you make it about you versus you, that's when you reclaim your power. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but is not that selfish? Should we not be considering others? And to that I say, absolutely. We should always be mindful of others, always strive to contribute to our communities, our societies. But here's the kicker. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give what you do not have. By focusing on your own growth, your own improvement, you are actually increasing your capacity to help others. Think of it this way. When you are on an airplane, what do they tell you about oxygen masks? Put your own on first before helping others. Why? Because if you pass out trying to help someone else, you are no good to anyone. The same principle applies in life. By focusing on your own growth, you are not being selfish. You are preparing yourself to be of greater service to others. So, what does it mean to focus on you versus you? It means setting your own standards, not based on what others are doing, but on what you are capable of. It means competing with the person you were yesterday, striving to be just a little bit better each day. It means asking yourself tough questions. Am I living up to my potential? Am I making the most of my talents? Am I pushing myself out of my comfort zone? Am I learning and growing every day? These are not easy questions to answer. They require honesty, self-reflection, and often they lead to uncomfortable truths. But my friends, that discomfort is where growth happens. That discomfort is the sign that you are pushing yourself, that you are. Let me give you another example. I once knew a woman who was terrified of public speaking. The mere thought of standing in front of a crowd made her palms sweat and her heart race. But she had a message she believed in, a story she wanted to share. So she made a decision. She decided that her fear of public speaking was not going to hold her back anymore. Did she volunteer to speak at a national conference? Of course not. What she did was start small. She began by speaking up more in team meetings at work. Then she volunteered to give presentations to small groups. Each time, she pushed herself just a little bit further out of her comfort zone. Was it easy? Absolutely not. There were times when she wanted to give up, times when the fear seemed overwhelming. But each time she faced that fear, each time she pushed through it, she grew stronger. She was not competing with professional speakers or comparing herself to charismatic leaders. She was competing with herself, challenging the person she was yesterday to become a little braver, a little more confident today. And you know what? Over time, those small steps added up. That woman who once could not speak in front of a group without shaking is now a respected speaker in her industry. She did not get there by trying to be someone else. She got there by consistently challenging herself, by making it about her versus her. This is the power of focusing on you versus you. It's about continuous incremental improvement. It's about setting your own benchmarks and then surpassing them. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, not a second-rate version of someone else. Now I can hear some of you thinking, that sounds great, but where do I start? How do I begin this journey of self-improvement? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me share with you a few strategies that I have found incredibly powerful over the years. First and foremost, you need to get clear on your values. What really matters to you? What principles do you want to live by? This is not about what society tells you should be important or what your parents or friends think you should value. This is about digging deep and identifying what truly resonates with you at your core. Why is this so important? Because your values act as your internal compass. They guide your decisions, shape your actions, and ultimately determine the direction of your life. When you are clear on your values, it becomes much easier to focus on you versus you because you have a clear standard against which to measure your progress. Let me give you an example. Let's say one of your core values is continuous learning. Now, instead of comparing your knowledge to others, you can focus on whether you are living up to that value. Are you reading regularly? Are you seeking out new experiences? Are you challenging your assumptions? These become your benchmarks, not how much someone else knows or what degrees they have. Set clear, specific goals. Now, I'm not talking about vague wishes like I want to be successful or I want to be happy. I'm talking about concrete, measurable goals that align with your values. If continuous learning is one of your values, a goal might be to read one book per month on a topic outside your expertise. If health is a value, a goal might be to exercise for 30 minutes, 5 days a week. These specific goals give you something tangible to work towards, a way to measure your progress in your battle of you versus you. But here's the key. These goals should stretch you, but they should not break you. They should be challenging enough to push you out of your comfort zone, but not so daunting that they overwhelm you. Remember, we're aiming for continuous, incremental improvement. Develop a growth mindset. This is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, which believes that your qualities are carved in stone, that you are either smart or you are not talented or not. With a growth mindset, every challenge becomes an opportunity to learn and grow. Every setback is a chance to develop resilience. Every criticism is feedback that can help you improve. This mindset is crucial in the battle of you versus you because it allows you to see your potential as limitless. It encourages you to embrace challenges rather than avoid them, to persist in the face of setbacks rather than giving up. Let me share a personal story to illustrate this. Years ago, I decided to learn a new language. Now, I had always believed that I was not good at languages. I had struggled with French in high school and had convinced myself that I just did not have a language brain. But as I began to understand the concept of a growth mindset, I decided to challenge that belief. I started with small, manageable goals. I committed to learning 5 new words a day. I practiced for just 15 minutes each morning. And you know what? Slowly but surely, I began to make progress. Were there days when I felt frustrated? Absolutely. Were there times when I felt like giving up? You bet. But each time I felt that way, I reminded myself that this was not about becoming fluent overnight. It was not about comparing myself to native speakers or polyglots. It was about me versus me. It was about being a little bit better today than I was yesterday. And over time, those small efforts compounded. Today, while I'm not a native speaker, I can hold conversations in that language. I can read books, watch movies, and even give short presentations. More importantly, I have proven to myself that I can learn and grow in areas where I once believed I was limited. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. If you are always doing what's easy, what's comfortable, you are not growing, you are stagnating. Now, I'm not suggesting you need to make yourself miserable, but I am saying that you need to be willing to face challenges, to do things that scare you a little. Remember our public speaking example? That woman did not overcome her fear by avoiding it. She faced it head on in small, manageable doses. What's something that scares you a little? What's something you've been avoiding because it's outside your comfort zone? Identify it and then take one small step towards facing it. Remember, it's not about conquering it all at once. It's about gradual, consistent progress. Practice self-reflection. This is where the real battle of you versus you takes place. It's in those quiet moments when you are honest with yourself about your progress, your shortcomings, your efforts. Set aside time regularly. It could be daily, weekly, or monthly to reflect on your journey. Ask yourself, I'm living up to my values. Am I making progress towards my goals? What have I learned? Where can I improve? This self-reflection is not about beating yourself up over mistakes or shortcomings. It's about honest assessment and course correction. It's about celebrating your progress and identifying areas for growth. Developing discipline. Discipline is what bridges the gap between your goals and your accomplishments. It's what gets you out of bed to exercise when you'd rather sleep in. It's what keeps you working on your project when you'd rather watch TV. It's what makes you save money when you'd rather spend it. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like it. It's about making the right choices more often than not. Here's a little secret about discipline. It gets easier with practice. The more you exercise your discipline muscle, the stronger it becomes. Start small. Maybe it's making your bed every morning. Maybe it's drinking water instead of soda. These small acts of discipline add up over time, creating a foundation for bigger challenges. Now, you might be wondering, what does gratitude have to do with self-improvement? Well, let me tell you, it has everything to do with it. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. It helps you appreciate your progress rather than always focusing on how far you still have to go. It reminds you of the resources and support you have in your journey. More importantly, gratitude fuels motivation. When you are grateful for what you have and how far you have come, you are more likely to want to continue improving, to make the most of your opportunities and abilities. Try this. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They do not have to be big things. Maybe you are grateful for a delicious meal, a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. Over time, this practice will train your mind to look for the positive, to appreciate your progress in your journey of you versus you. Surround yourself with the right influences. Now, this might seem counterintuitive in a discussion about you versus you, but the truth is we are all influenced by our environment, by the people we spend time with, by the information we consume. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, by people who discourage you or belittle your dreams, it's going to be much harder to stay focused on your personal growth. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with positive influences, people who support your goals, books that inspire you, environments that energize you, you are creating an atmosphere conducive to growth. This does not mean you need to cut out everyone who does not agree with you. Constructive criticism and diverse perspectives are valuable, but it does mean being intentional about the influences in your life. Choose to spend time with people who challenge you to be better. Read books that expand your mind. Create an environment that supports your goals. Failure is a teacher. Failure is not your enemy. It's your ally. Every failure, every setback, every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. Think about it. If you never fail, it probably means you are not pushing yourself hard enough. You are staying safely within your comfort zone. But remember, growth happens outside that comfort zone. When you fail, Do not beat yourself up. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to become better? This shift in perspective turns every failure into a stepping stone toward success. I remember a young entrepreneur I once mentored. He had poured his heart and soul into a business idea, only to see it fail spectacularly. He was devastated, ready to give up on his dreams of being an entrepreneur. But when we sat down to analyze what went wrong, he began to see the valuable lessons in his failure. He learned about market research, about financial planning, about the importance of adaptability. Those lessons became the foundation for his next venture, which turned out to be a great success. The 10th strategy is to celebrate your progress. In the relentless pursuit of self-improvement, it's easy to always focus on what's next, on how far you still have to go. But it's crucial to pause and acknowledge how far you have come. Celebrating your progress is not about becoming complacent. It's about recognizing your efforts, boosting your motivation, and reinforcing the positive habits that have gotten you this far. Did you stick to your exercise routine this week? Celebrate it. Did you finally have that difficult conversation you have been putting off? Celebrate it. Did you learn a new skill? Celebrate it. These celebrations do not have to be grand gestures. Maybe it's treating yourself to your favorite meal, or simply taking a moment to feel proud of yourself. The important thing is to acknowledge your progress in the ongoing battle of you versus you. Developing a strong work ethic. In the journey of self-improvement, there are no shortcuts. Success in any form requires hard work. But here's the beautiful thing about hard work. It's entirely within your control. You cannot control your natural talents. You cannot control the circumstances you were born into. But you can control how hard you work. You can control how much effort you put into your goals. And over time, consistent effort can overcome many obstacles. Developing a strong work ethic is not about working yourself to exhaustion. It's about showing up consistently, putting in focused effort, and persisting even when things get tough. It's about doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. I once knew a young athlete who was not naturally gifted. He was not the fastest, he was not the strongest, he was not the most coordinated. But what he lacked in natural talent, he made up for with an incredible work ethic. He was always the first one at practice and the last one to leave. He spent hours studying game tapes, perfecting his technique, working on his weaknesses. And you know what? Over time, he outperformed many of his more naturally talented peers. His work ethic became his superpower in his personal battle of you versus you. In today's world of instant gratification, patience has become a rare virtue. But in the journey of self-improvement, patience is absolutely crucial. Real, lasting change takes time. Building new habits, developing new skills, overcoming ingrained patterns, these things do not happen overnight. They require consistent effort over time. And that's where patience comes in. Patience does not mean passive waiting. It means continuing to work towards your goals even when you do not see immediate results. It means trusting the process, knowing that small, consistent efforts will compound over time. Think of it like planting a tree. When you plant a seed, you do not see results immediately. For a long time, it might seem like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are growing, strengthening, preparing to support the tree that will eventually emerge. Your personal growth is much the same. The daily efforts you make, even when you cannot see immediate results, are laying the foundation for your future success. The 13th strategy is to develop emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions, as well as recognize and influence the emotions of others. And let me tell you, in the battle of you versus you, emotional intelligence is a game changer. Why? Because so much of our behavior is driven by our emotions. Fear can hold us back from taking risks. Anger can lead us to make rash decisions. Frustration can cause us to give up too soon. But when you develop emotional intelligence, you gain the ability to recognize these emotions and manage them effectively. Emotional intelligence allows you to pause between an emotional trigger and your response. It gives you the power to choose your reactions rather than being controlled by them. In the journey of self-improvement, this is invaluable. For instance, let's say you are working towards a goal and you face a setback. Without emotional intelligence, you might react with frustration or disappointment, possibly even giving up. But with emotional intelligence, you can recognize these feelings, process them, and then choose a more productive response. You can view the setback as a learning opportunity, adjust your approach, and keep moving forward. Developing emotional intelligence is a journey in itself. It involves practicing self-awareness, learning to manage your emotions, developing empathy, and improving your social skills. But the payoff is enormous. It not only helps you in your personal growth journey, but also improves your relationships, your leadership abilities, and your overall quality of life. The 14th strategy is to cultivate curiosity. Curiosity is the engine of learning and growth. When you are curious, you are open to new ideas, new experiences, new ways of thinking. You are more likely to ask questions, to explore, to challenge your assumption. In the battle of you versus you, curiosity is your secret weapon. It keeps you engaged in your personal growth journey. It prevents you from becoming complacent or stuck in your ways. It drives you to continuously expand your knowledge and skills. I once met a successful businessman in his 60s who attributed his continued success to his insatiable curiosity. He told me, "The day I stop being curious is the day I stop growing." This man was constantly reading, asking questions, trying new things. He approached each day with a sense of wonder and a desire to learn something new. And as a result, he continued to evolve and adapt in a rapidly changing business world. So, how can you cultivate curiosity? Start by asking more questions. When you encounter something new or different, instead of dismissing it, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Make a habit of exploring topics outside your usual interests. Try new experiences. Challenge your assumptions. The more you exercise your curiosity, the stronger it is. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and engaged in the current moment, aware of your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. And in the context of you versus you, mindfulness is a powerful tool. Why? Because so often we get caught up in regrets about the past or worries about the future. We replay old mistakes or fret about potential challenges, but none of that helps us grow. Growth happens in the present moment, in the choices we make and the actions we take right now. Mindfulness brings you back to the present. It helps you focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your responses in this moment. It allows you to fully engage with your current tasks, to give your full attention to your personal growth effort. Moreover, mindfulness helps you become more aware of your thoughts and patterns. It allows you to observe your mental habits without judgment. And this awareness is the first step in changing those habits that do not serve your growth. You can start practicing mindfulness with simple exercises. Try taking a few deep breaths and focusing solely on the sensation of breathing. Or when you are eating, pay full attention to the taste, textures, and smells of your food. These small moments of mindfulness can gradually extend to other areas of your life, enhancing your focus and awareness in your personal growth journey. Change is the only constant in life, and your ability to adapt to change is crucial in the ongoing battle of you versus you. The world around us is constantly evolving, and to keep growing, we need to evolve with. Embracing change does not mean you have to love every change that comes your way. It means being open to new possibilities, being willing to adjust your course when necessary, and seeing change as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. Think about it. Every major breakthrough in your personal growth will involve some kind of change. You might need to change your habits, your mindset, your environment. Resisting these changes will only hold you back. Embracing them opens up new avenues for growth. I remember a colleague who had been in the same job for over 2 decades. When his company underwent a major digital transformation, Many of his co-workers resisted clinging to the old ways of doing things. But my colleague saw this change as an opportunity. He dove into learning the new systems, even though it was challenging at first. As a result, not only did he keep his job in a time when others were struggling, but he also discovered a passion for technology that opened up new career opportunities for him. In the journey of self-improvement, you will make mistakes. You will have setbacks. You will fall short of your own expectations at times. And in these moments, the ability to forgive yourself is crucial. Holding on to guilt, shame, or regret does not serve your growth. It keeps you stuck in the past, draining the energy you could be using to move forward. Self-forgiveness allows you to learn from your mistakes without being paralyzed by them. This does not mean absolving yourself of responsibility or ignoring the consequences of your actions. It means acknowledging what went wrong, learning from it, and then releasing the negative emotions so you can focus on doing better next time. And this principle of forgiveness extends to others as well. Holding grudges, nurturing resentment, these things take up mental and emotional space that could be better used for your personal growth. Forgiving others frees you to focus on your own journey. Develop a sense of purpose. Having a clear sense of purpose gives direction to your personal growth efforts. It helps you prioritize, make decisions, and stay motivated when things get tough. Your purpose does not have to be grandiose. It does not have to involve changing the world, although it can if that's what drives you. Your purpose might be to be the best parent you can be, to make a positive impact in your community, to create beautiful art, or to solve interesting problems in your field of work. The key is that your purpose should resonate deeply with you. It should be something that excites you, that gives meaning to your efforts. When you have this sense of purpose, the daily challenges in your journey of self-improvement become easier to face. You are not just working hard for the sake of working hard. You are working towards something that truly matters to you. In the relentless pursuit of self-improvement, it's easy to become your own harshest critic. But beating yourself up over every mistake or shortcoming is counterproductive. It drains your energy and motivation, making it harder to keep pushing forward. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a good friend. It means acknowledging that everyone makes mistakes and faces challenges. It means being supportive and encouraging to yourself, especially when things are difficult. This does not mean making excuses for yourself or avoiding responsibility. It means balancing honest self-assessment with kindness and understanding. It means recognizing your humanity and treating yourself with respect as you work on becoming better. While the journey of you versus you is primarily an internal one, getting external perspective can be incredibly valuable. Other people may see blind spots that you are not aware of or recognize strengths that you have been overlooking. Seeking feedback does not mean you should base your self-worth on others' opinions. It means being open to input that can help you grow. Look for feedback from people you trust and respect. Be open to constructive criticism, but also be discerning. Not all feedback will be helpful or relevant to your personal growth journey. And remember, the most valuable feedback often comes from your own experiences. Pay attention to the results of your actions. What's working well? What is not? Use this information to continually refine your approach. Gratitude might seem unrelated to self-improvement, but it's actually a powerful tool in your personal growth journey. When you cultivate an attitude of gratitude, you shift your focus from what you lack to what you have. This positive mindset can fuel your motivation and resilience as you work on becoming better. Gratitude also helps you appreciate your progress. In the constant push for improvements, it's easy to always focus on how far you still have to go. But taking time to be grateful for how far you have come can boost your confidence and reinforce your commitment to growth. Try this. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be big things or small things. Over time, this practice will train your brain to notice the positive aspects of your life and your personal growth journey. Take care of your physical health. Your mind and body are interconnected. When you neglect your physical health, it becomes much harder to focus on personal growth in other areas of your life. This means getting regular exercise, eating a balanced diet, getting enough sleep, and managing stress. These are not separate from your self-improvement efforts. They're foundational to them. When you feel physically well, you have more energy, better focus, and greater resilience to face the challenges in your personal growth journey. Remember, taking care of your health is not about achieving perfection or following extreme regimens. It's about making consistent, sustainable choices that support your overall well-being and personal growth. In the ongoing battle of you versus you will face setbacks. You will encounter obstacles. You will have days when you feel like giving up. Resilience is what will keep you going in these moments. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties or never feeling discouraged. It's about having the mental and emotional strength to bounce back from setbacks, to keep pushing forward even when things are tough. You can build resilience by reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, by developing a support network, by practicing self-care, and by maintaining perspective. Remember, every setback is temporary, and every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger. The journey of self-improvement does not have an endpoint. There's always more to learn, always ways to grow and improve. Embracing a mindset of lifelong learning keeps you curious, engaged, and continuously evolving. This does not mean you need to be constantly taking formal classes, although that can be great if it aligns with your goals. Lifelong learning can take many forms. It might mean reading regularly, trying new experiences, seeking out diverse perspectives, or learning new skills. The key is to stay curious and open to new knowledge and experiences. Every day presents opportunities to learn something new. In our fast-paced world, we often expect instant results. But real, lasting personal growth takes time. It requires consistent effort over the long term. Patience does not mean passive waiting. It means continuing to work towards your goals even when you do not see immediate results. It means trusting the process, knowing that small, consistent efforts will compound over time. Remember, you are playing the long game in the battle of you versus you. Quick fixes and overnight transformations are rarely sustainable. True growth and lasting change happen gradually through consistent effort over time. The journey of you versus you is the most important and rewarding challenge you will ever undertake. It's a journey without a final destination. There's always room for growth, always new heights to reach. But it's in this ongoing process of self-improvement that we find our greatest fulfillment. Remember, you are your own greatest project. Every day you have the opportunity to become a little bit better than you were yesterday. It's not about achieving perfection. It's about consistent progress. It's about waking up each day with the intention to learn, to grow, to push your boundaries just a little bit further. Remember these strategies we have discussed. Set clear goals aligned with your values. Develop a growth mindset. Embrace discomfort and learn from failure. Practice self-reflection and cultivate discipline. Surround yourself with positive influences and celebrate your progress. Develop emotional intelligence and cultivate curiosity. Practice mindfulness and embrace change. Learn to forgive, especially yourself. Find your purpose and treat yourself with compassion. Seek feedback and practice gratitude. Take care of your physical health and build resilience. Embrace lifelong learning and practice patience. But most importantly, remember that this journey is uniquely yours. Your path of self-improvement do not look exactly like anyone else's, and that's okay. Your challenges, your victories, your pace of growth, they're all part of your individual story. I challenge you to fully commit to this battle of you versus you. Embrace it not as a burden, but as an exciting opportunity. An opportunity to discover your potential, to push your boundaries, to become the best version of yourself. Remember, the most important competition is not with others, but with the person you were yesterday. Every day, you have the chance to be a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit closer to your goals. And as you walk this path, know that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Every challenge overcome, every lesson learned, every moment of growth, these are the true measures of success in the battle of you versus you. So go forth with courage, with determination, and with the knowledge that within you lies the power to shape your destiny. The journey of self-improvement is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Because when you commit to becoming the best version of yourself, you not only transform your own life, but you also gain the power to positively impact the world around you. Remember, in the grand competition of life, the most important scoreboard is the one that measures your growth against your own potential. So make every day count. Push yourself, challenge yourself, believe in yourself, because in the end, the greatest victory you can achieve is becoming the person you are truly capable